Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So as promised in a recent review video I did of this Maybelline Dream Urban Cover foundation, I said I was going to do a comparison video to see whether this is a dupe for the IT Cosmetics CC cream, because I've seen a lot floating around online saying it is a dupe, so I'm going to put that to the test in this video. So if you are new to my channel, then please click the subscribe button, that would really help me out. Just before I get into the video, I just want to apologise if you can hear any like background noise or banging. My neighbours are having building work done, which seems to be going on for ages, so sorry if you hear anything, there's nothing I can do about that. So yeah, I don't actually own the IT Cosmetics CC cream, but I have a sample of it, and I've also done a review of this on its own on my channel, as well as the Maybelline. So go have a look at those videos on my channel if you'd like to hear my full thoughts on these two foundations. So yeah, there's been a lot floating around on the internet about comparing these two, saying they're a dupe, and I can see why, because well, obviously I don't have the full packaging, but they're very similar packaging, as in they're like a squeezy tube packaging, but the IT Cosmetics one does have a pump on the tube, whereas the Maybelline one is just a squeezy tube that you squeeze out. And they both have sort of SPF 50 in it, so a very high SPF, and they're both sort of claim to have skincare benefits, so they're kind of like a CC cream. So I can see why people are making the comparison. Now hopefully this will be a dupe for this one, because this retails for £10.99 in Boots in the UK, whereas the IT Cosmetics one retails for I think £31, and you can buy it on the IT Cosmetics website or in Boots as well. The IT Cosmetics one you get 32 millilitres, and the Maybelline one you get 30 millilitres. So you do get a bit more in the IT Cosmetics, but this is way cheaper even still. So getting into the test now, I haven't got any primer on my skin because I want to give them a fair comparison. I've just got my Kiehl's Ultra Facial Moisturiser all over my face. So I think I'm going to do the Maybelline one on my right hand side and the IT Cosmetics one on my left hand side. And I'm going to be blending them in with a sponge. I'll use the same sponge, but I'll use the opposite sides because I don't have another one at the minute. But yeah, I always like to blend my foundations first with my fingers and then I sort of pat it in with a sponge. My mirror is down here, which is why I'm looking down here. So this is the Maybelline one going on. Oh, I forgot to compare the shades for you. I'll do that after I've blended this in on my hand so you can literally see the shades. So oh yeah, I forgot to say this is the shade 100 Warm Ivory in the Dream Urban cover. So yeah, I like to blend it in first with my fingers and then tap this in with a sponge. Now if you see my review of this one, I did quite like it. My only kind of major complaint was, one, it wasn't long lasting, and two, it claims to be full coverage but it really isn't. It's light to medium. But go and see the full review for my thoughts. So that's it blended in on my right hand side, and now I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics. Comparing the formula, the Maybelline one is very kind of runny, whereas the IT Cosmetics is much more of a thicker consistency. This one, as it's called, IT Cosmetics CC cream, it is more like a cream. So using the other side of the sponge. So yeah, this IT Cosmetics CC cream, I've got it in the shade Fair, which is the lightest shade. So just quickly, here's the shades on the back of my hand. This one is the Maybelline Dream Urban cover, and this one here is the IT Cosmetics CC cream. So you can see, well, they're both actually the fairest shades. Maybelline also do a fair one that's very pink, but they're about the same sort of shade depth, it's just different undertones. But yes, as you can see, the fairest one in the Maybelline does run a lot lighter than the IT Cosmetics CC cream, which, to be fair, like, that's not very light at all. Like, IT Cosmetics could bring out fairer shades than that, I think. So I'll just zoom you in now. I've applied it on both sides so you can see if there's any difference. So this is how it's looking. This is the Maybelline Dream Urban cover on this side, and on the other side is the IT Cosmetics. Now just looking in my mirror myself to see if there's any difference. They seem to have, the way they look on the skin, it seems to look very similar. I know the shades on my hand, they look quite different, but where it's quite light coverage, when you blend it in, like, it doesn't look like I've got a different foundation on either side, if that makes sense. And with regards to how they look on the skin, although one is much more runny than the other, they both kind of have this sort of dewy look to them. and they kind of feel the same on the skin. Like they both, even to the touch, they kind of feel a little bit, I don't want to say tacky because that sounds bad, but they're definitely, they don't dry down matte. Like there is, it literally feels like a moisturiser. When you put moisturiser on your skin, it feels really moisturised and like a little bit tacky. That's what it feels like. So I can see why people are making the comparison between the two. I don't really think that either side looks better than the other, to be honest. I mean, you saw the close-up, so maybe you make a judgment on that yourself. So I think overall, I think these are a dupe for each other in the sense of how they perform on the skin. But with regards to shades, they don't really match up, and formula-wise, the Maybelline one is much more runny, so I can't really say they're the same formula because they're not. And also scent. The IT Cosmetics one is quite fragranced. It's like, I don't know, like kind of like a fruity, fresh sort of smell, whereas the Maybelline doesn't really have a smell. It just kind of smells lightly like foundation. But it's not overly strong, but I don't think they have a fragrance in this. So yeah, once again, sorry about that like humming and building noises in the background. So I don't have time to kind of do a wear test on this because I've got so much uni work to do today. And I'm also going out later, so I'm not going to keep this on. But I'll try and keep this on for maybe about 5 hours, and I'll put in the description box down below how this wore on either side, so I can kind of give you an impression of how long this lasted, because if I remember rightly, the IT Cosmetics one wore reasonably well, whereas the Maybelline one, I think after the 6 to 7 hour mark, it kind of started to break apart around like my mouth and stuff. Yeah, I'll see how it goes and let you know. But yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and if you've tried these two sort of foundation / CC creams, then maybe comment down below whether you think they are a dupe for each other. Overall, I think they kind of are a dupe for each other, so I mean, they're not exactly the same formula and they don't smell the same, but they seem to look the same at this point when you actually apply it to the skin. So if you want to buy the IT Cosmetics CC cream but you don't have the budget for that, or you just don't want to spend it when you can get a much cheaper alternative that's pretty much the same, then definitely go for the Maybelline one. But like I said, if you're thinking to wear this all day, by my memory, this one, the IT Cosmetics one, wears a little bit better throughout the day. So I mean, neither of them are long-lasting foundations, but yeah, just keep that in mind. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and once again, if you haven't subscribed, then please do. I'd love to have you on board.